If I knew today everything that I've learned and I could apply it in my 30s and 40s, I wouldn't waste time. And I mean waste time in chasing shiny objects that don't matter. I would have invested more in the people around me. I do that now and have had a wonderful 16 years being able to truly work with people and help develop people and help them push their leadership and their emotional intelligence. And that's what matters, because that equals quality of life for people. It's bring us your stuff, we sell it in our retail outlets, we take the profits generated through the retail sales and we reinvest it into career services. Specifically, that means we're going to help you find a job, we're going to help you keep a job, we're going to provide basic level skills training. Specifically, what we're finding is the most beneficial to the individuals we're serving is that financial education piece, as well as the life skills piece, how to go to work and how to stay at work. From a national perspective, thrift is trendy. You've got for-profits with big pockets that are playing in that world, and it's not benefiting anybody. We in the state of Georgia don't have those for-profits yet. But what does that mean? There is a thrift market calculation, and if any community can show that 60 to 70% of that thrift market is already occupied, your for-profits are not moving in. Okay? So a lot of your players in Georgia are focused on, let's own the thrift market. We don't care who owns it. Let's just keep the for-profits out. Okay? So we're at Goodwill statewide are focused on it. We're focused on it. You see us popping up everywhere. Salvation Armies are playing in that game, and they need to be. There's plenty to go around. Don't think this has to be a Goodwill owned thing. There is plenty to go around. Your locals, like your Valley Rescue Missions, even some of your food banks throughout the state are in a little bit of the thrift industry. Your Habitat for Humanities are a little bit into the thrift industry from a building supply perspective. Exactly. Nobody gets mentoring in Columbus, Georgia. Not at the level we've got to mentor, that we've got to help people move to the next place. Here's an example. I work with what I consider 17 young professionals that can call me 24/7, that they've been wonderful for me. They've taught me to listen. They've taught me to be open to new ideas and to understand real young professionals. But here's what they've shared with me that I've taught them. That shift from moving here and getting that first job to moving up in those companies, because as an individual contributor, man, they are humming. They are rocking and rolling, and they love it here. Their quality of life is phenomenal. Their friends are great, and they're doing well at work, and they're getting promoted. They get that first promotion where they start leading people, and they don't know how. They don't know how to shift from being a fabulous individual contributor to having it be all about the person sitting across the table from me and not about me. I experienced it. I ended up with an executive coach out of Atlanta because nobody wanted to spend the time. That's what Columbus is missing. Leaders that know how to lead, investing in those that are learning. What we're seeing today is everybody is trying to make ends meet. It's not a privileged society anymore. So the populations that we're serving, the unemployed or the underemployed, have no boundaries in terms of income anymore. So that's the first thing to recognize. The second thing to recognize is when they go to work or when they move into a position that's paying more that can possibly sustain their family, They don't have a financial plan to go with it. And I'm not talking investments, financial plans that you and I are used to talking about a financial plan. I'm talking a core budgeting that includes savings. It includes, you know, if you've got medical bills, and there are a lot more people with a lot more medical bills. You know, how are you going to manage day to day? What are you going to do when you get that 25-cent raise and it may cost you having to come off of some sort of federal or state subsidy that you're on? How are you going to manage through that? Sometimes you're better off not taking that 25-cent raise or that dollar raise, and literally better off staying where you are and accruing and building up a savings account so that you can afford to come off of these subsidies.
That runs counter to intuition, right?
Bingo. And we see it as one of the highest reasons for turnover at the lowest level of all organizations. Even if you're not bringing them in at $7.25 an hour, even if you're bringing them in at $10 and $12 an hour, if there's not a plan to go with it that financially moves them through this process, you're going to lose them. The individuals living in poverty think better on their feet than anybody in middle and upper class ever thought about. Faster, plan A, plan B, plan C for survival. America is a middle to upper class based environment. So the benefit structures that are in employment don't support somebody in poverty. They support somebody in a middle and upper class environment.
You're talking about health insurance, things like that.
All benefits, 401k. Well, somebody living in poverty don't want 401k. They need an emergency savings account. So why can't we have emergency savings accounts that are tax deductible and tax deferred? This is not hard. It's that simple. You don't want me to say anything else.
Good, I got an indie question.